My name is Rob Cagnetta, and this is a meeting of the South Kingstown of Rhode Island Zoning Board of Review. Members present tonight are Thomas Daniels, our Vice Chairman, William Rosen, Arlene Hicks, Jeff Elia, and alternate William McDonald. Also present are Amy Goins, the South Kingstown Special Legal Counsel, Jamie Gorman, the South Kingstown Building and Zoning Official, and Ben Barbara, the Building and Zoning Associate. The board is made up of 8 people with 5 regular voting members. A minimum of 4 members must be present to vote. In the event that regular members are absent or recused, an alternate will step in. No more than 5 members are entitled to a vote, and at least 3 voting members are needed to grant the requested relief. Tonight, voting members will be myself, Mr. Daniels, Mr. Rosen, Ms. Hicks, and Mr. Elia, and Mr. McDonald will step in for one of the applicants when one of our members recuses. Applicants are here for either a dimensional or use variance or a special use permit. The board is a quasi-judicial body created by the South Kingstown Ordinance pursuant of state statutes. We don't follow strict rules of evidence, and we operate in what we believe to be in a fair and equitable manner. We try to let everyone speak, unless you get carried away and or it's deemed not relevant. So for the interest of time, please be brief and on point. We do our best not to argue and keep things civil, and we try to start the last petition before 10 o'clock, which I don't think will be a problem tonight. After we introduce your petition, please step up to the microphone at the stand there and adjust the microphone as necessary. You can move it around. It's not going to hurt it. And then you're going to hit, there's a little body with a little voice thing coming out of it. You're going to hit that so it turns red. And then you're going to clearly state and spell your name for the record. You will then be asked to take an oath to tell the truth. After that, you can present your petition with any witnesses to testify in support of the application. The board will then ask you or your witnesses questions. And when you're done speaking, just hit the button again. And because if not, we get a lot of feedback. So after the petitioner has presented their testimony, anyone with questions in support of or opposition to the petition can step forward up to the microphone. You will identify yourself, be sworn in, and present your testimony with follow-up questions from the board. So please do not ask any direct questions or comments to the petitioner or any other witnesses. We'll ask questions of the petitioner or its witnesses after the comment period. And then after hearing all the testimony, the board members will discuss it and the application and all the evidence presented. Board members will ask a lot of questions, and there's a good reason. We cannot just grant anything we choose. There are rules to follow per the South Kingstown Ordinance, so you must give testimony to support certain facts to allow the request to be approved, and we'll help you understand what what we're looking for. So tonight we do have both dimensional variances and special use permits on the agenda. For a dimensional variance, you must present evidence that your hardship is due to the unique characteristics of the subject land or structure, but it is not due to the general characteristics of the surrounding area. That your hardship is not the result of any prior action on your part, and that the granting of the variance will not alter the general character of the surrounding area, and that your hardship by the denial of the variance will amount to more than a mere inconvenience. So that basically means that the relief sought is minimal to reasonably enjoy the permitted use of your property. For the special use, you must present evidence that the request is specifically authorized by the zoning ordinance. So somewhere in that book, it has to say that you can do what you're asking for, or we don't have the power to grant it. And then the request meets all the criteria in the South Kingstown Ordinance that authorizes such special use, and that the request will not alter the general characteristic of the surrounding area, nor will it impair the purpose or intent of the zoning ordinance. And like I said, we'll help you through it. Is there any other business that we need to get into? All right. So we have 2 requests for a continuation, so we'll do those first. The first continuation is for the petition of Henry Cabrera of 3812 Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry Highway in Wakefield, Rhode Island, 02879. This is an appeal under the zoning ordinance as follows, that the applicant is seeking to appeal the notice of a violation issued by the zoning enforcement officer dated May 22nd, 2025, related to the premises is at 3812 Commodore Hazard Perry Highway. The owner of the property is Henry Cabrera for the premises located at that address. Assessors map 78-3, lot 7, and is zoned R200. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Stephen Angel. I'm an attorney in the state of Rhode Island. I represent Mr. Cabrera.
Thank you, Mr. Angel.
We are requesting a continuance. In the notice of violation, it was indicated that the building official had wanted Mr. Cabrera to go through, or I should say Dr. Cabrera, to go through the DPR process. We are in that process presently. It would appear that there's an alignment of the issues that are before the board on appeal in that. And so for that reason, we would be asking for a continuance. We were supposed to be here in February, but there was a problem with the tax assessor's role. We did speak to the tax assessor about that. There's still a problem with the address for one of the abutters, but we've corrected that. And so that the board is aware and the record is clear, I submitted an affidavit of notice relative to the abutters who were notified. As to the mail that bounced back to my office, we were unable to submit through the portal an affidavit with respect to that notice that was specifically provided to that abutter. And I'm prepared to submit that affidavit tonight if the board will accept it. It would appear through the portal that if I had loaded another affidavit, it kicked out the first one that was filed, so I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, certainly it can be submitted, right? So, that was email. Okay, I mean, you know this has been kicked around for a while, since
Yep.
May. So when you say you're going for a DPR, that's development plan review?
Correct.
With the planning board?
Correct.
And you guys are requesting sort of a change of use for the property to sort of better fit?
Yeah, it's not so much a change of use as it is a review for the purposes of, we believe it to be a by right accessory use. It's a farm enterprise.
Okay.
And he's looking to have weddings and special recognition events, which is permitted in the definitional piece of your town code. So, there's a congruity between what is between your group and what will be between planning, before planning, I should say.
Okay.
So we would expect it to be resolved in that process.
Okay. And Mr. Gorman, that is in fact correct. If we went through that process, that it would resolve your letter of violation?
Correct. That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Board members, questions for the applicant? It's representative, I should say. No?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, submit the affidavit for the record.
Yeah, please, come on up. Sure, thank you. What should I title this?
You can call it, excuse me, Applicant's Exhibit 1.
Okay.
And I think if the board's amenable to the continuance request, it may make sense rather than 1 month to continue it 2 months, if that's acceptable to the applicant, because my understanding is the DPR application was recently filed. I would imagine it may not be heard by the it may be heard by the planning board in April, but it may not be until May. But in any event, I think they're going to need more than 1 month initially. If things go well, the process before the planning board will resolve the pending appeal.
So they won't need to come in front of us, whatever, unless the planning board makes a different decision?
If the planning board denies their application, then I think the applicant has still preserved their right to argue here, potentially, that DPR isn't required, but right now, they're still keeping their foot in the door to appeal before the zoning board, but I think it makes sense to allow the process to take place before the planning board.
Mr. Angel, you okay with May?
Very much so.
Okay. And what's the date? May 20th? Do you mind handing that over to Ben? Thank you. Board members, questions? No? Anyone out there have anything they'd want to say on behalf of this application? Okay. So, hearing no discussion, anyone want to make a motion, or just,
I'll make a motion. Just move that this be continued to the May 20th meeting as such, and if it is resolved, we won't even have to deal with it, so I'm going to vote for it.
motion is made by Mr. Rosen, can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ilya. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Rosen? Aye. Mr. Ilya? Aye. Ms. Hicks?
Aye.
Mr. Daniels? Aye. Mr. Cagnetta? Aye. We'll see you, hopefully not see you in May.
Nice to see you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we're going to jump to the fourth one, which is the Silver Mesa Group, LLC. Is anyone here on behalf of that petition? No? Okay. I just put it on the ground. Okay. So this is the petition of Silver Mesa Group LLC of 700 Narragansett Park Drive in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, for an appeal under the zoning ordinance as follows: that they're seeking to appeal a decision of the zoning enforcement officer dated January 20th, 2026, related to the property at 691 Kingstown Road. The owner of the property is Robert S. Gallardetti, Revocable Trust for premises at 691 Kingston Road, South Kingstown, Assessors Map 57-1, Lot 91, and is zoned CH. This doesn't have a date on it, but it is to Mr. Gorman. On behalf of the applicant, Silver Mesa Group, we are writing to respectfully request a continuance for the pending appeal on 691 Kingstown Road. Silver Mesa Group has an application pending under the Rhode Island Cannabis Act Social Equity Assistance Program, a state program specifically designed for individuals disproportionately affected by cannabis prohibition. The applicant is currently navigating the final administrative stages of the Rhode Island Cannabis Control Commission, and we expect that the pending status of the state-level license will be resolved soon. To ensure the zoning board review is the most complete and up-to-date information about the state-mandated operational parameters, before the hearing this matter, we ask that the appeal be rescheduled from the current agenda to the board's next available monthly meeting. Sincerely, Andrew Cormier. So when is that next meeting? Do we know?
That's April 15th, and I think this is the first request for continuance on this matter.
So it looks like the April 15th. Does anyone want to make any comments about that?
Just a quick question for
Sure.
the building official. This rises as a result of the expiration of the special use permit, is that correct? No?
No, this one's a little different. So the applicant applied for a special use permit, which in this case would require development plan review first.
Which we approved, no?
I denied the application, requesting them to make application to the planning board. So,
Okay.
Yeah, so because development plan review is required for cannabis facilities, this shouldn't, the special use permit goes to the planning board. They conduct the review.
I was thought that we had approved a special use permit for this particular piece of property back a couple years ago. No?
that would be, I think, I think that was a compassion center, not a cannabis retail. So this is recreational.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Any other?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Rosen.
Refresh my memory, is this one of the groups that was in the lottery and won one of the cannabis facilities? Do you remember that? That was about 3 or 4 years ago.
I think this is a new applicant for the new adult use or recreational licenses that haven't been awarded yet.
Oh, so they don't have permission yet?
They
from the
don't have
state?
their local approval yet, and so they filed for the special use permit to go before the zoning board. Jamie said the proper venue is the planning board. That's the decision that they are seeking to appeal. So, you know, the circumstances in the letter relating to what the state is doing, I don't know, and it's up for it's up to the board to decide when the hearing starts, whether that has any relevance. But in any event, it's the first request for a continuance. We can maybe dig into the issues later.
Second question. You said it was a compassion center that was given to them. Is that correct?
That was probably 2 or 3 years ago. I think Mr. Daniels is correct. That,
Okay.
on a budding property to this one.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, the town has not previously, the zoning board or the planning board has not previously granted approval for a cannabis or a marijuana facility at this site? Right, it's a brand-new location.
Okay.
And Mr. Gorman, they were appealing your decision to say that they have to go to the planning board, right?
They feel as though that the zoning board has the ability to grant their special use permit only, and that...
Not planning.
I don't want to get into their argument, but it's
okay.
I believe they've filed a development plan review application in conjunction with this appeal.
Okay.
Maybe there's some people that are a little higher than...
Yeah. All right. We'll take the high ground here. All right. Does anyone want to speak on behalf of this petition? Anybody here for this? Okay. So it seems reasonable that they have other irons in the fire that they're trying to resolve, and that will just give them a little bit of time to do it. So we're looking at the April 15th. So I'll make a motion that we continue the matter of Silver Mesa Group to the April 15th meeting. Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Rosen. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Cagnetta, aye. Mr. Rosen? Aye. Ms. Hicks?
Aye.
Mr. Elia? Aye. Mr. Daniels? Aye. Motion passes. We'll see them in April. Okay, next we have Rebecca Bringhurst. You here? Okay. Mr. Elia is going to recuse himself since he occupies space in that building. So this is the petition of Rebecca Bringhurst of 14 Prescott Hall Road, Newport, Rhode Island, 02840 for a special use permit under the zoning ordinance as follows. The applicant is seeking a special use permit to allow alcohol service at the proposed restaurant. Lot size is 0.1 acres. A special use permit is required per the zoning ordinance section 301, the schedule of use regulations table, and section 504, Port 18, standards of restaurant with alcohol, and section 907, standards of relief. The owner of the property is 213 Nest LLC for premises located at 213 Robinson Street, South Kingstown, Assessors Map 57-4, Lot 114, and is zoned CD Commercial Downtown. Good evening. Please state your name and spell it, please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rebecca Bringhurst, REBECCA,
And you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. So tell us what you guys like to do.
So about 10 years ago, I started writing in one of my journals about the Craft Cafe. It is a full-functioning cafe, juice, smoothies, teas, coffee, some outsourced or wholesale pastry items. And then I'd also like to have a full retail art studio space where people can come in and enjoy crafts while drinking coffee, tea, wine, and beer, hopefully, and just really have a great community and add to the vibrancy of Wakefield's downtown atmosphere.
And what are the hours you're thinking of?
So ideally, I'd love to be open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. To catch that morning coffee crowd, but then also have a little bit of fun in the evening and throughout the day. I'd also like to host classes and events and have perhaps some stuff for kids and families during school breaks. I am a school teacher in Jamestown, Rhode Island, and have been for the past 14 years, so this is perhaps a second career or in conjunction with that one.
And do you plan on having live music or anything like that?
I don't anticipate live music. I am anticipating like different classes and events, so I am going for an entertainment license as well, just so I can perhaps host trivia or some fun speed dating nights, or sky's the limits when it comes to crafting and events like that. So I'm really hoping to, reach the full gamut and just have a lot of fun down there.
Sure, sure. So you're not here for the seating, you're not here for capacity or anything like that, you're only here for the alcohol part.
Yes.
So what's your plan with the alcohol? You mentioned wine and beer. You're going to line up shots for everybody, or
No.
what's the intent?
I'm just going for a limited liquor license at this point, wine, beer, and I need to look further into, I've seen that perhaps you can have spirits under 20% alcohol, so maybe some Aperol spritzes, just, some light, fun drinking, nothing too crazy.
Okay. And Mr. Gorman, is that the rule for, is it a percentage of alcohol that dictates it, or is there any, if we grant alcohol, is it any alcohol? Or-
I think that she's going to have to go before the town council and request the type of liquor license. I'm not sure if this will be a Class B, but I'm sure that'll be determined as to, what if hard liquor or just beer and wine.
Is it up to us to make that limitation here?
It's, I would say that's more for the council, because again, your authority and the zoning use table doesn't really distinguish between different types of alcohol. It's just restaurant with alcohol as far as zoning is considered. But again, as Jamie said, before the council, they'll have to apply for either a B or a B limited, which is just beer and wine. So I would say, alcohol service is jointly in your purview and in the council's purview, but it's really kind of more the council's decision, I think. Unless anyone on the zoning board has very strong feelings, I'll say that.
And if we're looking at sort of the idea of a special use, we're really looking at, is it going to have an impact to the community for waste, for any systems or anything that's related, right?
You're looking to see whether it satisfies the specific standards.
So, do you understand what I was trying to get to?
Yes.
With those, okay. So, in having alcohol service, is there going to be any increase in terms of ingress and egress, or is there going to be any additional trash or anything like that you're going to have just as a consequence to having alcohol?
I mean, there'll be cups that need to be disposed of, yes, or perhaps some wine glasses that need to be cleaned.
Right. But there's no extra, there's nothing more.
Correct.
How about deliveries or anything like that? Are there any challenges to having things delivered to that site?
Definitely will need deliveries. We have 2 designated parking lots, one that's attached to the building or adjacent to it, and the one across the street. So I don't foresee delivery being an issue or interrupting any traffic flow.
Right, right. There's plenty of space to have a box truck or whatever you need.
Correct.
Okay. And there's a dedicated area for garbage right now?
Yes, there is.
Okay, board members, any questions? Mr. Daniels?
Just a quick one. You plan to have any signage that indicates, external signage that indicates that you're serving beer, wine, or whatever you are eventually allowed, if you're allowed, by the council?
That is not in my,
Like, a neon beer sign in the
no,
window?
not at all. So I have my, excuse me, I'm a little nervous. Within my brand guidelines, that's not included in it.
Okay. 'cause
So
that-
I will have signage, but it'll be more about the crafting in the cafe, not so much the beer and wine.
Okay, because that is a requirement
Okay,
for a special use permit to indicate if you're going to have any additional signage. So your answer is no.
right.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, board members? Mr. Rosen?
Just one. Is there a restaurant there? I didn't see one.
There is currently not, so I'm also in the process of getting building use permits. I have a contractor, a plumber, and electrician who are pulling permits currently, so I do have to put a kitchen in there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, board members? No? Okay. Sounds great. I'm excited for you.
Thank
I hope
you.
it works out.
I am too.
I'm literally 2 blocks away.
Oh,
so
awesome.
It's fun to watch this building go through all of
Yeah.
its iterations.
Right, it's been a
As
lot
I
of
was
things.
saying, they were selling 3-legged chairs 30 years ago there, so it's a big leap for that spot. All right, so we'll let you know if there's anybody out there that has any questions for you or anything, but
Okay.
unless you have anything else to add?
I don't think so.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone out there want to speak on behalf of this petition, for or against? Sure, come on up. You can sit down. You're good. So please just turn on the mic and state and spell your name. So hit the button with the person on it. Look down at the...
Oh, thank you.
And
Hi.
just state and spell your name, please.
Hi, good evening. Christine Bernardo. You might remember my husband, John, who used to be on the zoning board. So, hi, Mr. Kignet.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, yeah, well, I actually work with
And
Rebecca.
I'm sorry, do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but
I
the
swear to
truth?
tell the truth, the whole
Thank
truth.
you.
And Amy, I know he worked with you too. But I came here, actually just came from walking my dog, and I knew Rebecca was going to be here. I work with her every day. Her room is attached to mine. And I just want to say, as a human being, she's a fantastic, very responsible person. The school adores her. She's a great teacher and just a highly admired and respected person in our educational community. And crafts is her thing. And whatever she brings out, everybody walks away feeling a little lighter, a little happier. And she's just one of those people that can bring people together really nicely. And I live on Kenyon Avenue, and I have grandchildren in the community, so I'd be really happy for this as well. I'm sure she'd be her business would be a great addition to the community.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you
And
very
hang on
much.
1 sec. Does anybody have any questions for her? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. Anyone else want to speak on behalf of this petition? For or against? No? Okay, board members, any thoughts? Seems very reasonable. It's a good use for the space. Mike? Sorry?
It would add to the attractiveness of Wakefield and in particular, the building that it's in, I think. It was difficult to find where the door for that particular address was, I must admit, but anyway, going forward.
Anyone else? No? Okay. Anyone interested in making a motion for this? All right, thank you, Mr. Daniels.
Today, this is regarding a motion to approve the petition of Rebecca Bringhurst. The chairman has indicated the materials were entered into the record, and this is for a special use permit required per the zoning ordinance 301, the Schedule of Use Regulations Table, Section 504.18, Standards for Restaurant with Alcohol, and Section 907, Standards of Relief. Nest LLC is the property owner, and appearing for the petitioner was Rebecca Bringhurst, Bringhurst, and also appearing was Chris Bernardo, who spoke in favor of the application. The board finds that the special use permit is specifically authorized by the ordinance because the ordinance does state in the schedule of use that restaurants with alcohol are permitted in South Kingstown with a special use permit. And it should be noted that we're approving a special use permit, but that does not approve the alcohol service permit, which is to be applied to, as the applicant knows, to the council. That's the town council's decision on whether to grant the actual license. The board finds that the special use permit meets all the criteria set forth in the subsection of this ordinance because there are no additional requirements to the property that are required under the ordinance, and those are ingress and egress to the lot. There's an existing parking, and ingress and egress is pretty well established on the existing building. And the off-street parking is noted on the application, and there are no additional noise, glare, or odor that is to be concerned about with the application of the special use permit for alcohol. The applicant has testified that trash storage and delivery areas will remain pretty much as is once the building permit is issued and she has her approval to do the renovations necessary. Utilities are present with regard to water and sewer on the location, and there is no screening or buffering required. There are no signs, as the applicant testified, that would indicate any exterior alcohol service. There is no required yards or open space necessary with this permit, and certainly this is compatible with lots and businesses in the area, since there are a number of small businesses in the area that currently serve alcohol. The board finds that the granting of the special use permit will not alter the general character of the surrounding area or impair the intent and purpose of the ordinance of the comprehensive plan of the town. In so doing, the board has considered whether or not satisfactory provisions and arrangements have been or will be made concerning the issues that I just outlined. So with that, there are no conditions for the approval of the alcohol service special use permit, and I would move that we grant the application.
Motion is made by Mr. Daniels. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hicks. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Daniels?
Aye.
Ms. Hicks?
Aye.
Mr. McDonald? Aye. Mr. Rosen? Aye. Mr. Cagnetta? Aye. Motion passes. Good luck. You're welcome. Okay, next we're going to hear the petition of St. Francis Cemetery. And that is at 114 High Street, Wakefield, Rhode Island, 02879 for a special use permit under the zoning ordinance as follows. The applicant is seeking to expand the burial grounds associated with the existing cemetery by approximately 3 acres. Lot size is 21.43 acres. The special use permit is required per the zoning ordinance, section 203. Special use permit for addition, enlargement, expansion, or intensification in section 907, the standards of relief. Owner of the property is St. Francis Cemetery for premises located at South Kingstown Assessors Map 48-4, Lot 11, and is zoned R10. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Christopher O'Connor. I'm an attorney at Blish & Kavanaugh. Our office is located in Providence. I'm here tonight on behalf of the applicant for what we think is a fairly straightforward proposal for an expansion, a modest expansion and improvement of the what is known to the church as the new St. Francis Cemetery, which has been in existence for, I'm told, probably since the 1880s. The old St. Francis Cemetery is located in the parking lot right outside, parking lot of the town hall, is the original St. Francis Cemetery. So that's the old St. Francis Cemetery. We're here on the new one. This property is a large parcel. It's almost 22 acres. It's situated, actually the town has it fronting on Allen Avenue, but the access to the cemetery is through George Schaefer Avenue. At the end of it, it's actually a fairly discreet, for such a large parcel, it's fairly discreet. And in many instances, if you were in that neighborhood, you wouldn't even know the cemetery was there. Certainly if you were on Allen Ave, you wouldn't, or even Rodman. So the reason for the application is pretty straightforward. It is a pre-existing non-conforming use. This is an R10 zone. Cemeteries are permitted in town in R80, R200. That's it. This cemetery predates the R10 zoning. It likely predates zoning in the town. So, but nevertheless, it's a pre-existing non-conforming use. We need a special use permit. Currently, the cemetery roughly occupies, the actual cemetery occupies about 8 acres. This expansion will be just over 3 acres. We have made applications to DEM. Deprete Engineering is handling that. Those were made in February. We've given you the plans. The plans that we've submitted as part of this application package were the plans that were submitted to DEM for RIPDES and freshwater review. We are far away. The plans mark the boundaries of the wetlands. They have been flagged, but I think will be a while before DEM gets to this application. So I suspect what we'll ask is that that actually you approve the application, but it be conditioned on the approvals from DEM when that occurs. I do have a couple of people here more to answer questions, although I did want to run through, in the event that there are questions, the actual layout of this cemetery and where the expansion is being proposed in the improvement. Again, why it's being improved. We're essentially running out of room, burial plots, and we anticipate that within the next year to maybe a little bit more than a year, given the rate of burials, that we need more room.
Mm-hmm.
So I did want to run through, I have a couple of gentlemen who are on the sort of spearheading this improvement with the cemetery and the church.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to run and introduce the board to Mr. McGill, Terrence McGill, who's a town resident and part of this improvement.
Okay.
Yes. So, as part of his very brief testimony, I wanted to, if I may approach, just hand out a couple of diagrams which might be of benefit.
Yeah, Mr. McGill, could you please just state and spell your name for us?
I'm Terrence McGill, MC, capital G-I-L.
And you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
You betcha.
All right. So tell us a little bit about the project that you guys are about to undertake.
Actually, if you don't mind, I'll ask a couple.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right.
Yep.
So Terry, you are involved is part of assisting with the expansion and the improvement of this cemetery, correct?
Correct.
And the reason for the expansion has to do with the number of burial plots or diminishing number of burial plots, correct?
Correct.
And we've handed to the board members a diagram which has letters on it. Can you just briefly tell them what that diagram is?
The diagram that you see, I think I labeled as 3. It should be the top page.
Just move the microphone a little closer to you. Yep.
Sorry.
It's all right.
This page right here, it shows approximately 7,200, 7,300 grave sites. 4,300 to 4,400 have people interred in them. About 2,800 are not interred yet, but they've been sold. And so that means we have about 98 available. 50 of them are full-size. The rest are for cremations.
So the cemetery is approaching its full
It's
capacity?
full capacity, and what happens is, if a person passes away, it's not just a single grave that goes typically. We have to sell 2, 3, depending on whether there's a spouse or another family member involved. So those graves don't go at a one time. They sell in pairs or even more.
And
That's
so-
why we're saying we're filling up quickly.
And so and you estimate that there are approximately 98 available lots?
Total.
Okay. And how many people are interred or buried on a yearly basis?
We have about 45 people that inter every year. This year's been a kind of a banner year, so we're filling up faster than we expected.
Okay.
And we are aging.
And the map, the section map that we've handed out, it's lettered, it's color-coded. Essentially, the cemetery is divided into currently 14 sections, correct?
Correct, 14 sections.
And this map depicts the entire lot, correct?
It does.
Just the lot. And it
The lot
shows-
itself,
It shows on the right hand the color-coded lettered sections, and those are the areas that are in use where people are interred, correct?
are interred or will be interred,
Or
yes.
will be, right. And to direct your attention to section P. You
Sec-
there?
We are section P.
Yes. So the expansion or the proposed expansion is going to take place in the area of section P, correct?
Is going to go adjacent to P and adjacent to L, and just below D.
If I may approach and just pass out one more handout.
Yeah, please. So applicants, exhibit 1 and 2.
So just to direct your attention to what's been marked as 2, this is the second handout. This is a sort of a concept or conceptual rendering of what the area will look like when it's laid out, correct?
Once we've graded the land, cleared and graded the land, this is what we anticipate.
Okay. And this is the white dots, and there are some yellow dots as well, correct?
Correct.
And this section, there is a section in the lower half of where the dots are that there are no dots. Is that section P?
That would be section P in this picture.
Okay. So this will roughly be, or at least what will need to occur is the property will need to be cleared, correct?
Correct?
There will need to have fill come in, and there will be
Clean
fill and
fill.
grading that will occur, correct?
Correct. It'll be a gradual grade, about 5%, so that we can have wheelchair and elderly access.
Okay. There are no structures that are proposed as part of this expansion, correct?
Correct.
And there are no structures on this site, correct? There's n-
On the cemetery site,
Yes.
besides the columbarium, which is just for cremation remains, that's the only construction we have on the site.
So since you said it, a columbarium is it's not a building, but
No,
it's,
it's a cubicle structure that holds 16 to 32 urns, remains of cremated people.
okay. The hours of operation will be the same,
They will
nothing
be-
will be affected.
Correct.
There is the entrance and exit to this cemetery is through George Schaefer Street or Ave, correct?
Yeah, exclusively.
And there is a gate that is at the entrance. Is that
Correct.
gate
It is
locked at night?
Every day.
So no need for utilities, no police or public services required at this site?
Correct.
None now and none proposed.
Not anticipated.
And the hours of operation, if you will, for people to come visit will remain the same. It's approximately until 7 p.m. during the warmer months
Yes.
and 4 p.m. during the
Correct,
winter
winter
months,
months,
right?
yes.
Depending on daylight savings. Just give me a second, Mr. Chair. I don't know if the board has any questions, Mr. Chair, but I don't have any further questions of Mr. Gill.
Would I be able to say one thing?
Sure, it depends what it is.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that When I look at this layout we have up on the screen right now, I know there's concerns with the border on the south side, where we have two existing walls, and it looks like it encroaches closely to that corner of the wall, the blue wall and the red line. What we're going to be doing is there's going to be an access road, a dirt access road back there to the infiltration pond in the back, ensure that there's no graves or anything that could encroach on that line or disturb that wall.
Right.
Okay. And so, and just to, as a frame of reference, using the map, the section map, as well as the plans, there is a residential neighborhood located to the east of this. And those homes went in approximately in the 1990s, right?
Correct.
But the proposal for this improvement is on the opposite
We're
side.
on the west. That's on the east. We're on the west.
Okay. I think that's it, unless the board has questions for us. We have people here to answer any questions.
So you talked about bringing fill in. You're not going to change the grade, so water runs off your property and contributes to either neighbors or
Correct.
other runoff?
We have designed it to have an infiltration pond. The last slide showed it better.
Yeah. So as part of the submission, we have not only existing conditions, but soil erosion and sediment control plan, which is page 4 of the plan.
That's even better.
And we
But
have
that's-
site grading and drainage plan.
And that's part of DEM's review, is to make sure that you're keeping it all on the property and so forth.
Yes, it is. And we are, again, I can't stress enough, we are, especially where this is taking place, we are well within this, this lot.
Sure, sure. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, board members, questions of the applicant and yep, go ahead, Mr. Ilya.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mr.
sorry.
Chairman. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Tom.
Go ahead, Jim.
Oh,
Mr.
sorry.
Ilya, go ahead.
Two questions. How long do you think that it will take you to clear this area? And based on this addition, how many years do you expect this will sustain you before you'll be
Good questions.
required an additional?
There will be no additional.
Yeah, right now, we're not anticipating additional, but the projections are that I think it will take, once DEM approval will roll in, once we get the green light, as long as we have your approval from the building official, it's going to be at least 2 months from start to finish with a contractor. We have not yet gone out to bid, but we will at some point. And this window, I think, between hopefully your approval and DEM's will give us an opportunity to do that. So that's what we're anticipating right now, approximately 2 months. In terms of the number of years, as well as the number of lots or graves, I think the projection is about 1,500 graves.
Correct. A little bit more, but yeah, about
In that-
1,500,
In that ballpark, that would be interred in the
the new section.
the new section that we've showed you, and probably 30 or more years is what we're looking at. Sorry.
Thank you.
Mr. Daniels?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Quick question. Do you have any issues with vandalism currently in the cemetery?
I don't think so. Do you know, Sue? No. Okay.
No issues? So this is a little more remote area. You don't expect any issues with vandalism or
They've got, paths.
unauthorized access type thing?
Well, there's paths in there from the municipal land around the Peacedale, California Gym Pond. People walk through there, but they don't typically come up into the graveyard.
Okay, because I know there's a walking path
Right.
adjacent, so, well, that's good. That's good
Right.
that you don't have those issues.
We could have people clean up a little, though.
Yeah, it's a well-kept property. It's maintained. It doesn't have some of the issues that some cemeteries unfortunately have.
No, it's just the dogs. No, it's not the dog's fault.
And
The
dogs.
dogs are
Everyone's
fine.
got dog issues.
It's the people that are handling the dogs.
You are correct.
But no, you take very, very good care of it. It's, I admire the monuments there and the headstones, it's really kind of fascinating walk through, Wakefield history, for sure.
Some of those graves came from here and were moved up there.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, they started from the old cemetery, and so you'll see graves that are before 1880 up there. So the people relocated their families from here to there so they could bring the families together.
Just the stones?
No,
The whole
the
thing?
whole,
Wow, whole kit and caboodle, huh? All right, any other questions, board members? Ms. Hicks?
Yeah. When I read your application, I was surprised to see that the address was listed as Allen Avenue, because I always thought of the cemetery as being, on George Schaefer. So I did take a trip by there, and I noticed there is property being cleared on Allen Avenue. Is that anything to do with this
no,
proposed?
that's north of us.
So that's something completely,
We're around the corner, kind of swampy looking.
okay,
One of the swampy looking corners at the bottom of the hill, there's, it goes down the hill, then it levels out, that's us. Then it goes down another hill
okay.
onto Rodman, so we're in that swampy little area
Okay.
before Rodman.
So the clearing that I saw has nothing to do with the
That's somebody
cemetery?
else.
I think that's going to be a house lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
From what I can tell. And I think this, from Allen, I think the designation for Allen is a town designation. It has a significant frontage on Allen, but the cemetery itself is set back quite a ways. And I drive that road all the time, and even this time of year with everything off the trees, you can't really see into the cemetery.
And there was an access off that road at one time in the 1940s. There was a farm in there. Chickens or something like that. We still have remnants of it, foundations. So the access was off of Allen's by pole 27. You'll see several poles going in where the road used to be.
Any other questions, board members?
Yeah.
Mr. Rosen?
One quick clarification. You said there's no structures on this.
Correct.
I've seen mausoleums that have attached to them something like
Is a mausoleum.
what looks like a workspace. This one doesn't have that.
No.
Okay.
It has a mausoleum, but there's no workspace or.
Yeah. A mausoleum meaning it's a
It's a
burial.
Right.
Yeah, it's
A large
above ground burial.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's next to the columbarium.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any other questions, board members? No? Okay. Anything else you guys want to add? Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Anyone out there dying to make a statement? I'm sorry, I had to do it. Yeah. So please state and spell your name, sir.
Keith Lescabo, Building Commission for St. Francis, volunteer.
Just spell your last name for us.
Lescarbeau.
And you swear to tell the whole truth?
Swear to
Nothing but
tell the truth, the whole truth.
Go
Yep.
ahead, Mr. Keith.
First of all, thanks to the board for your community service. If you could bring up the drawing that shows the project itself. Yeah, right there. So just a couple of things I wanted to elaborate on. Do we have a laser pointer available? Okay. If you look at the proposed work area, which is the orange border, there are graves that flank both sides of the work area, the proposed work area. So we will not be going beyond, if you look at that purple portion there, that's the pond. We're not really going beyond that border line. So we're really just regrading within existing flanking plots. So it's really only an expansion in that we're putting more plots in, but not really expanding any area of plots. So developing grade within existing flank locations. So we're not really moving on. And then you'll also notice there's plenty of buffer beyond that point of our land. Well within existing cemetery activity is this project. The other thing is I wanted to mention or elaborate on It's a well-engineered project by Dupree as far as water runoff with the road control and the retention pond. So that's been well thought out by the engineers. The other thing is, I just wanted to mention that, you know, this cemetery predates zoning, so we kind of have the grandfather of grandfather rights here. And we're well within our own property. The reason we would be limited from any further real expansion is that the water table would prohibit any further development. So this would be our last attempt at this. And are there any other questions? We would be putting the bids out probably within the next few weeks. I'll put the packages out. We're hoping to get some people that are going to be helpful to the effort. And it is urgent in that we probably have about a year of plots left, so we do need to get this done this season. Yep. Any other questions or anything?
Thank you, Mr. Liscabara. Anyone else? Questions? Thank you, Keith. Anyone else want to speak on behalf? Come on up. Just state and spell your name, please.
Sure. Am I still on? My name is John Kelly from Hampstead, New Hampshire.
And you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Excellent. Go ahead, Mr. Kelly.
And just, you mentioned some points of history. My father, Milton Kelly, the bell tower is named for him. He was a custodian here for 50 years. So it's good to be back in the building again.
That's cool.
My brother and I, Charles Kelly, we own property to the east and to the south of the cemetery. And so we have a few questions, maybe concerns.
Okay.
The first one is, based on the plans I looked at this afternoon, there's a 10-foot wide maintenance path, gravel, and on the plans it shows it's almost right at the northwest tip of our property. Where right there where that red line hits the blue, that's where the path becomes closest approach to our property.
Sure.
So I just was wondering if there was any type of setback on maintenance paths to a butter's property. So I don't know if that's in the ordinance of the town or not.
Okay.
So that'd be one question. The other question in that same area is they mentioned that there won't be any change in the grade, but of course we're concerned if there's any change in the grade that might increase runoff into our property. So that's another question we had. The other question is near that red line, the dashed red line in our blue boundary, if there's any plans to put graves near that section. It's my understanding that state or town regulations, ordinances do not have any kind of setback from grave to the abutters.
Right.
They go up to centimeters up to the boundary. So I just was wondering if there's plans for graves in that area.
Okay.
That would be of concern to us. And the other one was the applicants mentioned that there was no plans for expansion because of the wetlands, maybe to the west, but I think another part of the application team mentioned maybe in 30 years they might expand maybe to the south towards Allen's Avenue where they have land, which I think the land is probably sufficient in terms of not having wetlands there, at least in my limited knowledge of it. So my question related to that is, given this expansion, do they have any type of thoughts if they do expand in 20, 30 years towards Allen's Avenue, how would that tie into the expansion plan that we see up here?
Right.
And
Well, go ahead, Ms. Goins.
so the expansion plan that the applicant is requesting the board approve tonight, they would be limited to that area. So any further expansions down the line, 20, 30 years or whenever, would have to come back before the board. So the board tonight, if they approve this, would only be approving the proposed expansion boundary as shown on the plan.
That'd be my understanding. I was just wondering, based on the layout of the roads, if they had thought about if they would connect to that new road pattern for future expansion. So I just was wondering if that was in their thought process.
Yeah, we'll ask them again. It sounded like that this is their only intent at this point. But I did want to ask Mr. Gorman a couple things that you might be able to answer. One is the path and the location of the path relative to an adjacent property. Is there any restrictions to that?
There's not, Mr. Chairman. There's no setback requirement. So like there is for a structure. I do have, I'm trying to zoom in here, but and the applicant correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the red line is the limit of disturbance. So I think the path it appears to be, for scale, maybe 20, 30 feet from the property line, but the limit of disturbance appears to be right up to the corner of the property line.
Yeah, we'll ask them if that's a fence or what it is. They're gonna, like a silt fence or something they're just gonna put around the area as they're doing the work. But the silt fence usually goes away, but I'll ask them about that. But no, technically they're not allowed to alter your property, and nor by DEM's review, they won't be allowed to dump anything, water won't be able to go to your property. Any development basically in the state of Rhode Island, everyone has to contain their own water. You cannot dump water on anyone else's land. So but that's DEM's responsibility. So, and then in terms of the plot locations, they did say it's all inward of the path, right? Is everything that's on the one map that they submitted. This one here is all of the graves are on the inside of the paths. There are no graves outside of the path area. But again, we can confirm that with them to be sure of that, but it seems pretty clear on at least this map,
Okay.
that that's their intent. And then, yeah, I think, what else was there? So, yeah, I mean, we can verify some of these things just to make sure that they are in fact going to be inside their road and that they don't expect in disturbing any land outside of theirs. I think there's enough space, but they can verify it that they don't need to be right on your property line to put their silt fence or anything like that.
Okay.
But technically, by Mr. Gorman, they could go right up to the line. If they were building anything, it would be something different, but it's just landscaping.
Okay.
In this.
Is there any setbacks regarding the stone structure where they have cremation urns in? Is that any kind of setback to adjoining property?
Mr. Gorman?
I suppose it's if it meets the definition of a structure, but, I don't know if there's a mausoleum or some sort of stone structure that would serve as like a building on this plan, but it sounded like there wasn't.
Mr. Chairman, I think their testimony was that there would be no building, additional building structure on this application. I think that's what I heard.
But we're going to ask them, I think, in terms of what the pre-engineering made, and I wouldn't necessarily go by this in terms of where things are supposed to be located, but I believe that the diagrams created by Dupree are fairly accurate in the sense that a path should be where the path is drawn. It's not like it's going to be 10 feet off or anything like that. They're, by this special use, they are bound by how this plan reads. So if you think that they're outside of what they were asking for here, it would be a matter of contacting Mr. Gorman and saying they are not within the restricted area or so forth. But it seems pretty clear by this that all the graves will be inside that circle.
Okay,
as it were.
all right.
But I can clarify, I'll have them clarify some of these things for
All
us.
right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Of course, thank you. So if you guys don't mind, come on. So I think the things were, in terms of future expansion, I know you mentioned that you don't know what's going to happen in 30 years, and you don't have any plans at this, currently, you don't have a 50-year plan?
We do not have we have a 30-year plan, but
You
not
have
a
a
50-year.
not a 31-year plan?
We might be in one of the plots.
But no, there's no intent beyond this area to expand the cemetery at this point?
There's no accounting for what the condition of the property will be in 50 years from now.
Right.
But there are no plans. I think our best educated guess is this is probably it for the expansion.
Okay.
We're limited. We're limited by the groundwater table.
Okay,
All right, you do have to bury people.
right.
So in that area down
Fair.
there, right, it's, you dig
The
down
one
3
table
feet.
is 2 feet about beyond that red zone there. So, yeah.
So you'd have to be like New Orleans, everybody would have to be above ground.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So we can actually put bodies in there. You can't bury anybody the way it is right now.
okay.
So you have to level it.
And the red area is a silt buffer, as you mentioned, Rob. It's jagged only because it follows elevation rather than perimeter. And so the road, all of the plots and all of the stones, no structures, will be within the road. So nothing outside of the road, which is just an access to the plots. And all of that red area is really for the protection of the surrounding property from any soil infiltrated water or silt that would run off.
And that area is going to be well staked and marked in terms of, or it probably is already, or?
Nothing's done yet, no.
Nothing is done
No,
yet?
yeah.
Okay. And your locations of your paths are pretty well defined on here? I mean, it's hard to see on
Yeah,
this
we have
drawing.
we have accurate benchmarks that'll be, noted with where everything goes, along with backsets to allow for measuring off those backset benchmarks while they're working, so that they can work in those areas without having a marker there, but working off offset markers.
And if Mr. Kelly had questions about the project as it's ongoing, he would contact the church? or
Contact the rectory, yeah.
Contact
sure,
the rectory?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to add to
He
that?
had a question on drainage,
Yes.
and you'll see the dotted line that goes along the outside of the road. Those are the drain swales that are designed in. You'll see that they go around the border of the roads,
Mhm.
and then they head down towards the infiltration pond. So
Okay.
You'll see it, and then it'll shoot suddenly off to the left. That brings it down into the infiltration pond. The blue line that's indicated there that goes near the line where we may have some disturbances, and that's a worst case, is a solid wall. All right, that is a...
That
well,
corner is a
It's
wall?
a stone wall. It's a
Okay.
existing stone wall,
Okay.
and we have drill holes in there that were set by the surveyors back in 1979 so that we know where the property line is.
Okay.
So we're not going to disturb that because that's our boundary marker. We know, and we don't want to disturb it.
Right.
So we're going to be very careful around that area.
Right.
That's
And-
why we put the road in that area, make sure we don't impinge on that.
Okay. So all of the runoff is going to be controlled by at the outer rim of the
Correct.
path?
And it's all going to go into the infiltration pond.
Yep.
And, again, it's an infiltration pond so that we can filter the water, any runoff water, so that it goes into the groundwater and then into the Peacedale Reservoir clean.
And no vehicles or no heavy equipment is going to need to be outside of the path
No.
by any means?
No, there shouldn't be.
Right. And then the perimeter around it is going to be maintained, cut back, or kept wild, or what's the intent?
Well, they have to grow in. The swale is meant to be natural.
Okay.
And so as the the stone underneath to keep it flowing, but
Right.
it'll look natural.
Right. But you don't necessarily have to clear cut all the way.
No, no, this is, and it's designed for a once in 100 years rainstorm.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to add to that?
I would just add that I think you noted during our presentation, which is that DEM are separate eyes on this. So in terms of the water and the flow and everything, they're taking a look at, so.
And neighbors will be notified of the DEM meeting?
That's DEM's process, that's not
Okay.
ours, so
No, but-
I don't know that there will even be a meeting, frankly.
Okay, okay. You think they can approve it, like do an administrative kind of approval?
I think
sort
they
of thing?
might,
Okay,
but I'm not certain.
okay. All right, thank you.
Sure.
Mr. Kelly, does that help? You're welcome. Oh, yeah, come on up. It's all right. Just come on up and state your name and spell it for us, please.
I shall indeed. Denise Dowdell, Dowdell.
And you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? This hand, but yeah.
It's not truth, it's a question.
Well,
But yes.
just be honest.
I don't understand where this red line is. I
Mm-hmm.
read the stuff that was online,
Sure.
so I'm just trying to picture
Right,
where it is.
right.
This right here, is that coming right down that hill?
So, yeah, so because yeah, I think it comes down the hill and then it kind of flattens out a little bit, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so,
Where that, down to where that rotten car is? Yes. Somewhere around there? The truck. The truck? Yeah. Okay, and that's as far as it's going? Okay.
yep, I'll have them answer, but even though they're right next to you and answering.
In the stuff online, it said that you're going southwest. So I'm south. So I was trying to figure out, because the stuff online wasn't that clear, especially the one with all those wiggly lines around.
Are you on Allen? Are
Yeah.
you on Allen? Okay.
I'm right behind you.
So, right, so Jamie, if you could pan out to get the whole lot in with the boundary,
Like I said, I'm not for or against. I'm trying to understand.
sure.
Yeah. Okay, so.
So the yellow boundary is our lot. You can see Allen is where close to where the cursor is.
And you're coming like mid.
Let the record reflect they're pointing to the map.
Thank you. So, Ms. Dow, yep, so you're all set in terms of, you're just wondering where the area of disturbance is relative to your property, basically. Okay. Thank you very much. All right, anyone else want to speak on behalf of this petition for or against? No? Mr. O'Connor, you want to add anything else?
I do. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, of course. So, board members, any comments or concerns or motions for this particular petition?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I have no concerns. I think it's a straightforward plan. It's a well-developed plan. The property is available, and they need the special use permit because it is an enlargement, number one. It's also non-conforming. It's actually a residential lot, believe it or not. So I certainly don't have any issues with the application.
Thank you, Mr. Daniels. Anyone else?
I agree with Mr. Daniels.
Thank you, Mr. Rosen. Anyone else? No? Anyone want to make a motion for this petition of St. Francis to expand? Me? All right, I'll make a motion to approve the petition of St. Francis Cemetery of 114 High Street, Wakefield, Rhode Island, 02879. There was a presentation by Mr. O'Connor, their attorney, with Mr. Terrence McGill and Mr. Les Carbeau speaking on behalf of the representatives of the property owner, St. Francis. This is a pretty unique situation where we have an R10 zone that has been a cemetery for over 100 and some odd years, and that they're looking to expand the non-conforming use of the property as a cemetery. We have several neighbors and that had questions about the proposed expansion and the use of the property, as well as runoff and disturbance and so forth. Those questions seem to be satisfied by those abutters. They submitted a variety of plans, engineers' plans, as well as diagrams of the layout of the property, denoting sort of existing use of the property in the areas that have been designated as currently the cemetery and mausoleums and so forth. The expansion was in the southwest corner of the property, which is a dry area of the property that does need some regrading and manipulation in order to provide the proper setting for the graves to be situated there. Mainly their concerns for regrading were over the access for those with disabilities to not have to be going down too steep of a hill. And all of the controls that are going to be put on site for runoff and so forth are being considered not only for the good stewardship of the property, but also by DEM regulations. So they're going to be sure to conform to those plans that have been submitted. So we find that the special use is specifically authorized by this ordinance because the cemetery is allowed under the special use permit. The board finds that the special use does meet all the criteria set forth in the subsection of this ordinance authorizing the special use. And this is because, like I said, that they were being very thoughtful and deliberate as to where the appropriate location could be. And they're thinking far enough ahead that they don't have to come back here every couple of years. This was designed as a potentially a 30-year capacity. So it's going to enable them to continue use of the property. They are good stewards of the property, and the property is not only used for those interred and their family members, but also by the community in a respectful way. So we find that the special use will not alter the general character of the surrounding area or impair the intent or purpose of this ordinance or the comprehensive plan. So in doing so, the board, we have considered whether or not satisfactory provisions and arrangements have been made and concerning the following matters: that ingress and egress to the lot of the existing proposed use, particular reference to automotive and pedestrian safety and convenience, that traffic flow and control and so forth. There shouldn't be any fire or needs there per se, because they are all pretty much stone monuments. But in terms of emergency or any other needs, they're not changing egress into the property, nor are they creating more capacity within the property in terms of how many people are going to be there. So that off-street parking isn't really a concern at all. They don't have any lights, so there's no glare or anything like that. They do secure the area at night. There's no trash, storage, or delivery necessary for it. There are no utilities necessary. There's no screening or buffering necessary as well. There are no additional signs. There are signs for the property, but they're not expanding it, nor are they, changing any of the lighting. There's no required yards or open space. So, this isn't really going to change the neighborhood at all because, again, the use is going to be the same. There's no intensification per se in the sense of use, of living use. But so it's not going to create any concerns for the neighborhood per se. There are no conditions for this. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Yes.
The only condition would be DEM approval, so it would have the 2-year expiration.
So there'll be a 2-year expiration pending DEM approval. So let's hope they don't need that. So since they only have a year of space. So with that, I'll make my motion again. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Daniels. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Cagnetta, aye. Mr. Daniels?
Aye.
Ms. Hicks? Mr. Elia?
Aye.
Mr. Rosen?
Aye.
Motion passes. Good luck. Thank you. And thank you for all the great work you guys are doing at St. Francis for the community and everything else. So it's wonderful. The kitchen is great, and so thank you for doing all that. All right. So, is Keith Main here? All right, excellent. So this next one is for Keith Main of 37 Andre Avenue, Wakefield, 02879, for a dimensional variance under the zoning ordinance as follows. The applicant is seeking to construct a 24-foot by 30-foot addition to the single-family dwelling. The addition will be located 7.7 feet from the side property line. The required yard setback is 10 feet. Therefore, a relief of 2.3 feet is requested. Lot size is 0.28 acres. The dimensional variance is required per the zoning ordinance, section 401 and section 907. Owner of the property is Megan Fitzsimmons, Maine, for premises located at 37 Andre Avenue, South Kingstown, Assessors Map 40-1, Lot 113, and is zoned R10. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Thank you.
And state and spell your name for us, please.
First name Keith, last name Maine, M-A-I-N-E.
And you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but it?
I do.
Excellent. So go ahead, Mr. Maine. What would you like to do?
We just like to expand on our existing house. We're looking to put on a garage addition with a master bedroom above. And based on the surveying, we are going to be encroaching on the setback line by 2.3 feet.
So is there any way you can make it 2.3 feet smaller?
They advised me for a 2-car garage. That is not possible.
Okay. Garage, a 2-car garage with a bedroom above?
Correct.
Okay. Is it sewer or septic?
Septic.
Septic. And you're getting approvals for expanding it, or do you need approvals?
No, we currently have a 3-bedroom now, and we're just basically moving the master bedroom from one side of the house to the other.
Okay. And it's all under conformance for height and so forth?
Yes, we're under the 35-foot, yes.
Under the 35. Okay. Mr. Ely, you have any more questions?
I'm sorry, I'm mumbling. There were no architectural drawings, so I didn't know the height or if there was going to be storage or something above in the application, so.
So right now, we're a little premature on drawings, but we're not changing the height. We're going to make it to the existing height of the original house. Mm-hmm.
And adjacent to you, is that another driveway? That's ready, Jason? Yeah.
Next door?
Yep.
Yes.
And you have enough room in order to build it, so you're not going to encroach on the property next door at all. Board members, any other questions for this applicant? Ms. Hicks?
Yeah, one question.
Sure.
You said the house is currently a 3-bedroom house?
It is.
Correct, and you're putting a new master bedroom over the proposed garage?
Correct.
Will that make it a 4-bedroom house?
It will not, because we're going to Phase 2 of this, we're going to remodel the other half of the second floor, and we're just going to expand those 2 bedrooms to make them bigger.
Sorry, we shouldn't be laughing. Okay, is there anything else? Any other questions? Board members?
Yes,
Yes, Mr. Rosen, hi.
I'm down here. Just one question. You have a porch outside your house right now.
I do.
Yeah, is that porch coming down?
Porch is going to be demoed, it's going to be attached
And
garage.
that's where the garage is going to be?
Correct. Yeah, from the
Okay.
porch to the driveway width.
And that driveway is your driveway,
The
correct?
paved one, yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions, board members? No? Sorry, that was so easy. Anyone out there want to speak on behalf of this petition, for or against? You want to be against? Nice. Come on up. No, I'm kidding. That's awful. So come on up. We'll see how we can help you out. Just state and spell your name for us, please.
I'm Karen O'Connor, C-A-R-Y-N, O'Connor, O''Connor.
Okay. And you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. What would you like to know?
I am a direct abutter.
Okay.
I'm at 47 Andre Avenue, so I am...
That is your driveway next
That
door.
is my driveway,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, good.
And I'd like to make it known that I'm not opposed, my family and I live with my daughter, and we're not opposed at all to the application. But we're concerned about how the structure is going to affect our property and property value.
Sure.
Rolling Acres, which is the plat that this home is in, it doesn't have any homes with 2-car garages with living space above it.
Right.
There were no plans submitted that show what that is going to look like, what that second floor is going to look like.
Right.
I'm I guess, concerned about it because I don't know what it's going to look like.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if it's going to alter the character of the surrounding area.
So you're concerned that it's going to be in keeping with the house itself, like that it'll be the same height of it, it's not going to be towering over the house itself, or?
Well, I want to make sure it's not going to be towering over me because it's, even though there is the driveway between.
Right.
That's my concern.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we can only sort of control the placement of it on the property. The height, technically, we don't have the ability to restrict how high he can go if he's under the 35 feet, technically. So, and I think if he could build it 2.5 feet smaller at that height, but we can ask him about the aesthetics of it kind of going up. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have design review. We're only here for the footprint.
Right.
So are you concerned about, because it's 7.5 feet away from, a little over that, from your property?
Well, just because of the height of the property that I think is proposed.
Right.
That I think.
Well,
is
if he's
proposed.
willing to share the height, then we'll
Yes.
find out, and
Yeah.
we'll see what we can do.
And I may have missed it, but I didn't see any information on the proposed maximum building coverage on the plan that I saw.
Right.
So I'm wondering, percentage-wise, what the maximum building coverage will be if the proposed garage is built.
The percentage is
25%.
25%? Okay. And do you have that data, Mr. Berman, in terms of?
The surveyors noted on the survey on the screen here that without the addition, it's 13.6% lot coverage by buildings, so it's safe to say that the addition wouldn't exceed 25%, but the board certainly could make it a condition that be verified, or...
Okay. So yes, there is a requirement that they cannot go over
Okay.
25%.
And I'm just wondering, does that 25% include the shed and the sunroom?
Well, Mr. Gorman?
Yes, it would.
It would include the shed. Interesting, okay. So it would include all them all. So I think it's, we can request that they submit the final footprint to the building inspector prior to the permit
Okay,
being issued.
terrific.
Is that correct? I can do that? We can do that? Okay.
And the applicants, we've talked to them. They're great neighbors. They indicated that they shouldn't have to widen the driveway, which would bring their driveway closer to the property line. But the existing conditions plan shows a line possibly indicating that there could be pavement on the west side of the garage.
Right.
We wanted to keep that as a green area.
Right.
So I've spoken to the applicants about a buffer to shield my property from the addition.
Right.
And they were agreeable to that. But I'd like to make sure that it be a vegetative buffer with deer-resistant plantings.
Just adjacent to the driveway, you mean?
Yes. Yes, adjacent to the wall of their proposed garage living area.
Oh, so you're saying next to the garage, not necessarily next to the pavement,
Right.
per se? Okay.
Right.
Because I think they can pave all the way up to the property line, right? Technically? No?
The Department of Public Service is going to require a soil erosion permit, but if you're paving that close, likely you might have some runoff issues, and that would be a problem. So typically they require a setback or some sort of trench there for infiltration.
Okay.
Okay.
And how is that submitted? Is that submitted to you, or is that?
It's to the Department of Public Services, not the building department, but it's a separate permit application reviewed by the town engineer.
So for an expansion of the driveway, you have to ask for that?
No, but for an addition, that would be the stormwater from the roof would have to go somewhere.
Yep.
And the engineer would require that be, disposed of in a certain manner. And they'd also look at the driveway or any kind of changes to impervious.
And that's in the application that they fill out? That's one of the steps in the online application for the runoff?
It depends. There's certain triggers, and I can't say 100% for a fact that this would rise to that level.
Okay.
So certainly, I'd have to verify with the town engineer. It's based on cubic, land disturbance or footprint. This isn't 1,000 square foot footprint, so it just might be the land disturbance.
So technically, they can't go right up to the property line. They're going to need to control their runoff.
They always need to control runoff.
Okay.
But the soil erosion and sediment control permit requirements may or may not apply depending on whether this meets the threshold.
And if Ms. O'Connor has concerns about the placement of those things, she would contact, or she can probably contact your office, then you would tell Ms. O'Connor to call the.
Yeah, it would be if there was discharging of water, like downspouts you directed at the neighbor's property, that would be an issue that we could address, the town, certainly.
So we talked about that a couple times tonight, is that you have to keep your water on your property.
Yeah, your water is your own.
Your water is your
Okay.
own.
Okay.
Yep. But we'll find out about height and so forth, what he's willing to share.
Okay, and the last thing, I just also like confirmation and have it added to the record that the property won't be used as a rental at any time.
We can't.
You can't.
No, that's not for us to, unfortunately.
Okay.
So, no, or not, but there are rules to different types of rentals in the town, but there's no way for us to restrict how the property is used, unfortunately.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
right.
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Of course, of course. Well, we'll find out what we can, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Thank you. Board members, any questions for this witness? No. Thank you, Ms. O'Connor. Mr. Maine. So you mentioned with the design, it was going to be in keeping with the house, correct?
Correct. There is no plans to go any higher than the existing house that's there now. We're going to match everything as well.
So like pitch of the roof and so forth, or aesthetics of the house and so forth, you're not?
So we are planning on, so right now there's a steep pitch in the front.
Mm-hmm.
We're planning on bringing that pitch up, adding a row of windows on the phase 2 side of it, but as far as height, we're not going to go any higher than what is already previously there.
Okay. And the two of you are pretty close in terms of height, it looks like.
It's the wood shingled one to the right. Yeah, where your cursor is.
That one?
Yes.
Okay. So you said you're putting dormers on the front of this part of the house?
Yeah, not so much dormers, but we're going to put up a full wall with windows.
Okay, okay.
And we're just going to bring that roof line up a little bit.
And is it going to be a cross gable then?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be a gable from the front?
Correct.
So you can get the two cars in?
Yes.
And then are you going to have dormers on the side of the roof? Like looking at your house and the neighbor's house kind of thing? No. Okay, so
No.
just the gable, and then you're going to have windows on the front and back?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and just for privacy reasons, I didn't want to put any windows on that side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Just in taking their consideration into that fact, we weren't going to put windows there anyways.
Okay.
We were going to have front and back windows.
Okay. And can you submit your lot coverage as well, just for verification?
Yes.
Upon submittal of the permit?
Yeah, I believe the sunroom is already factored into the surveying.
Okay.
The shed is on the plans, but it might be maybe 100 square feet, if that.
Yeah, just calculate it, make sure you're not over that 25.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it'll be a shame to find that out after the fact. And then I think you also heard their concerns about the runoff and so forth, and disturbance, and I think we can require plantings, or you can, I don't know if that is in your intent already to kind of have plantings in between.
Yeah, we did have a conversation about putting some type of vegetation buffer in place, and I have no problem putting arborvitaes or some type of suitable shrubbery that would make everyone happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see if whoever's making the motion, if they'll want to attach that to it, or if we'll just take your word for it.
Sure. Yeah, and the driveway question, if anything, the driveway might move more inwards towards our property because we're removing that porch, and the garage is setting more towards the house where that porch was. So we're not expanding the driveway anymore towards their property. If anything, it's probably going to come more inwards towards us.
Okay. Okay, great. Any other questions, board members? Mr. Daniels?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. O'Connor did mention her concern with the compatibility with the neighborhood. She indicated in her testimony there were no garages. Would you speak to that?
I wouldn't say there's no garages. There are a couple of houses that do have them, but I don't know if there's any living space above.
But there are existing garages.
There's a handful of them. Yes.
In the neighborhood?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, board members? No? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Maine. Anyone else out there want to speak on behalf, or any follow-up, any concerns? No? Okay. Anyone have any thoughts on it, or like to make a motion by chance?
I can make a motion if you
No,
want. Go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Rosen, you have a comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. It's my understanding that the height of the garage, even with the second story or the room above it, is going to be the same as the house. But as far as the porch is concerned, you're going to move the garage wall that faces Miss O'Connor's property inward towards your house or outward? Where's the 2.7 feet coming from? Is it
It's coming-
within the porch area?
It's coming from the property side towards her house.
Yeah.
So I believe from the drawings here, this is the proposed. The porch is off, so it's the attached garage with the 24-foot width by 24 in length. So
Okay.
we're encroaching,
And what's the size of the porch?
it's probably 24 by 6 or by 8.
And the 6 is what? Towards
Depth.
the back and the front of the house?
It's 6 feet wide by probably 24 in length.
Okay, so the garage and the porch are going to be approximately the same size with respect to Miss O'Connor's property, correct?
No, there is no porch. The porch is being demolition.
I know the porch, but the porch is there now.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's going to be gone,
yes.
right. We approve porches in this. I'm just wondering, the garage is not going to be any closer to Miss O'Connor's property than the porch is right now.
Yes.
Is that correct?
The porch is only coming out 6 feet, and you're
Correct.
coming out 24. So it's
Correct.
going to be 18 feet closer.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, okay, so,
Yep.
oh, I see. Oh.
Yeah, that was
Next to the house is 6 feet towards Miss O'Connor's property.
currently.
The porch is 24 feet from the front to the back. I got it, okay. I was thinking, I turned it around by 90 degrees.
That's why I was confused. Yeah, I thought that's what you had done.
Yeah, okay.
Does that answer the question?
No, well, in my head, I can picture things, but when they're turned around at 90 degrees, it makes a difference. Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's pretty much going to sit within that driveway now? Correct. Yeah, okay. Any other questions, board members? Comments, concerns, motions?
Happy to make a motion if you'd like. I'd like to make a motion to approve the application for Mr. Keith Main at a meeting held on Wednesday, March 25th. The petition for Mr. Keith Main of 37 Andre Ave in Wakefield was presented. Property owner is Megan Fitzsimmons Main. This is regarding Assessor's Map 40-1, Lot 113, and is zoned as R10. The following, Mr. Main spoke as a representative of his application. The only other individuals to speak in support of this were Ms. Karen O'Connor, who didn't necessarily speak in support or opposition, but had questions that were answered by the applicant. Mr. Main presented materials into the record, which were a zoning application for dimensional variance per ordinance 401 and section 907. These included parcel boundaries mapping, and a butters list, and a plan of land by South County surveyors. The board finds that the hardship from which the applicant seeks relief is due to the unique characteristics of the subject land and or structure, and not the general characteristics of the surrounding area, and is not due to the physical or economic disability of the applicant, excepting those disabilities addressed in 452430. The applicant is simply seeking to construct a 24 by 30 addition to a single-family dwelling. The addition will be located 7.7 feet from the side property line, and the required setback is 10 feet. Therefore, relief of 2.3 feet is requested on a lot size of 0.28 acres. The board finds that the hardship is not the result of any prior action of the applicant. The board further finds that the granting of the requested variance will not alter the general character of the surrounding area or impair the intent or purpose of the zoning ordinance or the comprehensive plan upon which the ordinance is based. And the board further and finally finds that the hardship suffered by the owner of the subject property, if the dimensional variance is not granted, amounts to more than an inconvenience, meaning that the relief sought is minimal to a reasonable enjoyment of the permitted use to which the property is proposed to be devoted. Are we adding conditions?
That's up to you. If you want to impose reasonable conditions, you're making the motion, you can suggest some.
So subject to this approval, the board will request that final drawings be submitted once they're completed, and these would include lot coverage that was discussed. Other than that, make a motion to approve.
Motion is made by Mr. Ilya. Can I get a second? Second. Second by Mr. Rosen. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Ilya?
Aye.
Mr. Rosen? Aye. Ms. Hicks? Mr. Daniels? Aye. Mr. Cagnetta? Aye. Motion passes. Good luck. So do we have minutes to approve? Yep. Anyone have any questions or any additions to that? No? Could I get a motion to approve the minutes for which month? For February meeting? So moved by Mr. Daniels. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Okay. Everyone going to be here for the next meeting, which is tax day? Oy. I guess so. Okay. Everybody here? Great. Anything else? No? Warmer weather? Wishes? Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Brutal winter.
Yeah. All in favor? Aye. Aye.